All right, I just came back up. Oh my, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just came back up to end the live properly. I just came back up to end the live properly. What's going on?
Hey,
Are you on my last live, or are you brand new coming in?
I don't know. Too many lives, man. I don't know.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just appealed. They took me down. I just appealed, so I'm coming back up. Coming back up. I just came back up really so people know I'm back. I appealed it and I won, so I'm back up. But yeah, I was getting too real, man. I was getting too real over there. They didn't like that. You know.
So this is a second account?
That's my first account. This is the same account. I just appealed and they allowed me back up.
How many strikes did you get?
I don't know. I think they just took me off. I was in the middle of talking and they took me down.
Dang. TikTok don't like you, man.
Oh, they don't like black content creators. They don't like people talking too real on here. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. That's pretty much why I came back up. Just to say people I'm back. They can't stop me, they can only hope to contain me. That's it. That's it. So let me see, where are my people at, man? Where are my people at, man? Let me send some invites to my people. Where are my people at? Send them the invite, bring them back up here. Where my people at? I'm back. They took me down, but I'm back. I'm back.
Make a second account, man, in case they take you down again.
Yeah, I do have one,
Yeah,
but
man. Stay. Avoid that subject. Avoid
yeah.
that subject. Avoid that subject. They
That's
got you
messed up.
before I could get you, bro. They
I
got
can't.
you
Hey,
before I
in
could
the
get you.
grace of God, I'm back. They cut me. They set me down. They said, "Oh well, we can't really take them off of that. That's freedom of speech," and they brought me back up. So I'm here. I'm here, man. I just came back to tell everybody I'm back.
Yeah, man. That was
Giggles.
on purpose, bro. There's no
Giggles
question.
Oh my
rewrote your
God,
comment. They blocked it.
what happened?
Giggles has a comment that's blocked.
Let me unblock it. How do I unblock the comment? Where is Giggle at?
How long they took you down for? Oh no,
Oh,
no.
how
Yeah,
long they took me
it's
down for?
filtered rather.
Oh yeah, it's filtered. It's not blocked. Yeah, just for like a minute, 2 minutes.
See, once you get into, shall I say, controversial subject matter.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
I was ready to get in and be like, they putting them in men. So
But we're going to avoid that now. We're not going to run
exactly,
down that path now.
Oh,
We're going
exactly.
to.
That's messed up. We're talking
oh,
about our health and stuff that's
oh,
going on with our bodies. And
Yeah,
mm.
they don't want that information like that. They don't want that information
oh.
shared without absolute proof. Did I say that right?
Oh, there's absolute proof of that. That's in the
Yeah,
news.
yeah. That I mean, what I'm saying is absolute proof. Okay, that's probably why they brought me back up. They realized, oh well, he's not lying. They are doing that. It's out. It's in the news. They are doing that. They are doing that. This ain't speculation. This ain't something that This is actually real.
That's crazy. I got to figure out this Discord situation so we can actually, because it's enough of us really to
I
have
just
those fantastic conversations over there.
It is. I just accepted you. I apologize. I just accepted you on Discord. I'm gonna revamp the Discord because I had it kind of vamped for something else, and I had too many rooms in there. I'm gonna shorten up the rooms and get them into put them more like subject categories, and we're gonna get up in there and we're gonna chop up some game. We're gonna talk about some blockchain. We're gonna talk about a lot of things up in there, man. We're gonna get the game going. So forgive
I want to
me.
make sure, and put this out there right quick. Do not forget to take in your moment of truth this morning by Professor Black Truth.
Yes.
Okay, he's dropping some bombs and some gems about, again, the Attorney General in Ohio and his illegal acts against Rodney Hinton.
What time do you come on again? Yeah, I always put the time
8 a.m. He posts 8 a.m. on YouTube Monday through Friday.
And all you gotta do is go to his channel and you can watch all his other stuff, right?
That's right. This brother and
That's
the
a
Black
nice
Authority have been out there for over 15 years banging this drum.
Come on.
That's why your grassroots is as fertile as it is right now. It's
on.
because of these brothers.
So there you go, man. Oh my God. I knew I should have been a more codified, or I should have changed the subject. But I'm back. I was like, damn, I did so much to protect this account from getting messed up. Y'all don't understand. I've been trying my best, man, not to get this account.
Well, what you've proven is that how hard they're watching you and the rest of the Black creators, content creators.
Man, listen, I promise y'all, I'm targeted. I got people from inside of TikTok I promise you, they are targeting me. It's not just AI. I mean, there's a certain time, like I know there's a certain day during the week that there's a certain person on, and they're watching my account, and they'll just take me off for no reason. I'll just get this, and I'll have to appeal like I just did right now, and then they'll have to look at it and be like, he didn't do nothing, and somebody else will bring me back up. But I'm telling you, this is beyond AI looking for catchwords here. When I come on, the game is too real over here. I'm telling you, the game is too real.
So what platform is the National Black Media using?
Which
YouTube.
one?
Okay,
Oh yeah, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
New Black Media, baby. Not National Black Media. New Black Media.
Okay, I think y'all sure was gonna ask for the website again.
Cousin, every time you come on and you see the room full like it's full, you're mine.
I'll do it.
Make sure you stop us what we're doing. I don't care what we're doing. And when we got a full room, you gotta promote. Because everybody needs to be plugged in to the grassroots media. It's crazy how many Black people don't know what's going on, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that actually always, because see what they're saying without saying it. They're not realizing that they're all connecting on the same level. They just don't realize that there is a voice out there for them. There is a platform out there for them to have their opinions verified, so that they know that we are not alone in our thought process. But too many cats and kittens get stuck in, I'm more Democrat, I'm more Republican, and they don't go to their blackness. I've said it to you, I said it to other cats before. Are you more Black or are you more Democrat?
Man, come on.
Are you more Black or are you more Republican?
Come on. I mean, that's what you got to ask me. Like, listen, who do you ride for? Do you ride for your lineage, or do you ride for your political party? And you know what's crazy? A lot of people say, I'm going to ride for my political party because Black people, we don't stick together. And I've been looking at them like, what? Did you really just say that?
The ones that get me recently, because I've seen a couple of panels. Now, I told you I didn't vote. I wasn't voting for him, and I wasn't voting for her. But cats be like, you didn't vote. Well, your opinion or what you're saying doesn't matter. I'm like, you know what? Now, the fact that I have voted in every election since I've been able to vote, that just means nothing. But taking a stand, putting a stick in the line, I ain't going no further. You have an issue when someone comes in with this position, but you have no problem bending over and absorbing all that comes from that political party. But when it's going to be done for you and yours, you have no problem capitulating and just saying, oh, well, we know it ain't going to be perfect. Well, as long as you participating, it ain't going to be perfect, because you are saying, I know it ain't perfect, and I'm co-signing to say, yeah, I agree to live like that. I agree to let Sonia Massey get done and dealt with that way. I agree that Tamir Rice was done okay. See, when you say yes to when you are voting, you are saying you agree to live by these terms to me. You agree to live by these standards. You agree to live by these rules and or laws of this iteration of this experiment. I cannot any longer accept that position. You think I'm going to sit up here and say, yeah, it's cool that you just showed up and in 6 seconds you unalive somebody? I'm supposed to say, yeah, that's an all right idea of what I want our social contract to be? Gotta be kidding me. I need real, tangible change. If you are not bringing real, tangible change, stay away from me. Don't ask me for nothing because I'm not giving you nothing. You are going to meet me here because I'm not moving a millimeter in your direction.
Man, we got to get you out to one of these rallies, Kevin. We got to get you out to one of these rallies, man. I'm dead serious, man. We got to get you out to one of these rallies, man. People need to hear somebody speaking like that. They need to hear you talking like the way you talk. They need to hear it, brother. We got to get you out of rally, man. Hey, I'm only gonna go probably like 10, 15 more minutes, you guys. But I mainly came back up so y'all know that I'm back. You know, I appealed it. You know, my cat. You know, now y'all know my account's being targeted. Y'all just know there's certain topics that if I even try to even go there, they're gonna try to yank me down. But thank God I appealed it and they let me back up here. But we got our own token white guy on here, man, and I like this dude, man. He got a good spirit about him. You know, you probably the only one I'm going to extend. You're probably the only dude I'm going to extend white privilege to, brother. You got white privilege over here, brother. What's up, Boosie?
Hey, yeah, I was going to ask you, do you have an agent?
An agent?
Yeah.
No.
You should look into that. There's a lady named Penelope Jones, I think is her name. She does a lot of political people, and she's good. She's good.
Is she affiliated with the parties?
Sometimes they don't, and an agent can get it through.
Okay, why would she want to be? Why would she want to? Why would she want me? I don't know. Why would she?
Well, you'd have to talk to her and see. I don't, she didn't send me over here or anything. I just know her.
Okay.
And I know she's done good things for like Speak the Truth and other people who, they get targeted.
Yeah, I'm constantly, man. My page is constantly targeted.
He was speaking of a TikTok agency agent.
Right.
What happened? Do you know what happened? Too much. What happened?
Man, I was speaking about some things. You know what I was speaking about, and I guess they didn't like what I was speaking.
It got too real. It got too real. That's what it was.
This is the topic. This is somewhat like the topic I have. You must have been reading my mind too much. Man. Anti-black, but I put American in 2025. But I was like, why is so many people talking about our reparations? Hey, everybody.
Hey,
what's up, Wolfie?
Hey.
And I'm like, and then I got somebody to come up and they start cosplaying as us. I'm tired, y'all. I ended the live and seeing that y'all was up.
Hey, Wolfie, the longer we keep standing on business, right? These people are getting
They
layered.
acting like
it's a big onion, but they getting layered out of the conversation because it's the real lineage that these tethers can't hold real lineage conversations with us.
And that's
they
how
don't
we
know how to do
that's
it.
how we realized he wasn't us. Because
he was it's a simple conversation, and then we find out these people on it'd be like 60 seconds, like the movie, gone in 60 seconds. You ask these people simple questions about the lineage and all of this, or you'll find out they daddy from Ghana. You'll find out they mama from damn Trinidad. That shit happens quick.
But I was up here trying to, I have a speech impediment, so I was like, it could be an elder with a speech impediment. Come out, it's just a dude our age from Paris. I'm talking about, we listened to the interview of Malcolm X when he came back from Mega. And he was saying that basically what the leaders out there was telling us to do is stay out here, don't move out there, and build and benefit from everything we've done out here. And now these are the same people that's telling us to come out there and help them build.
No.
The only
Exactly.
difference,
They're
the only difference was
narcissists.
the currency. They had currency power back then. They don't have it right now. And that's I was trying to, take the longer version, but yeah, I'm tired.
I saw your message, Monique. Yeah, we're in the game. I'm gonna start tapping in. Y'all got to get on the Discord, man. Y'all just got. I'm gonna just tell y'all got to get on
Yeah.
the Discord because we're gonna start doing some things. Fanny, are you on the Discord already?
I got to go back on there. I'm still learning how to work that, but I thought we
Okay.
were, but we're not. I thought I was, but I got a
Okay.
message from you.
Okay.
I
So you did
gotta
get
work the
okay.
Discord.
Okay. So
Yeah, I got to
y'all.
learn. The Discord is, whoa, Discord is different.
It's a little
It is,
complicated
yeah,
for us.
it
Yeah.
looks
That's not
Yeah. Oh,
weird.
quite.
so Fanny, that's what I learned about Discord, right? You can be in you could be in like different like groups, and that's where it gets confusing when you don't
Right.
understand that you're switching from one group to the other. That's
Yeah,
what
I
was
think that's
messing
what
me up
happened.
too. Yeah, once you realize that, all you do is you tap different groups and it'll give you all the information, but you got to be accepted. But that's what I had to learn too, because I was like,
Yeah, all these
Discord
damn.
and shit, yeah, yeah,
Simon, we
all
got to get
everybody
you in the
know each other.
Discord, brother.
I know. I'm looking at all them damn
Simon,
categories. All the
Simon, we got to get you in
categories.
the Discord, brother, because we got to chop up. We need that scholarship, brother. We need you to bring that
Man,
I'm
that
a,
scholarship.
was
I'm a,
that,
I'm
that
a,
was that
I'm
was
a,
Yeah,
yo,
outstanding.
send me the information to my DM too
Ooh,
much,
that
and
was
I'll
outstanding.
join your
That was
Discord.
So,
How old are you,
outstanding.
Simon?
Me, I'm in my
Simon,
mid-30s. I'm in my
brother, I just want to
mid-30s.
say again. Because to me, you're my young star. You're one of my young
Okay.
stars, and I want you to know I love the shine that is on your star.
to me, him
You
and
are.
Afro Elite,
I
Simon and
appreciate that,
Afro
brother. I appreciate
Elite,
that.
Simon and Afro Elite are my favorite on TikTok, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you.
okay.
Simon and Afro Elite are my favorite young people on
I
TikTok.
like Phoenix Hebrew too.
I don't know him. I haven't seen him. I haven't. I think I've only been in his live like one time or caught him one time. But the
He's got
scholarships
some
coming
real,
out of
as a young man, he's got some
yeah,
real gravitas.
the scholarships coming out of these man. All I can say is I'm proud. I'm proud, man. I'm proud. I'm proud of my people. Y'all standing on business. Y'all the future. Y'all gonna take us to the next level. And I love how y'all don't take no mess from nobody. And I want y'all to stay like that. Don't let nobody criticize y'all. Don't let nobody put y'all down. If you got to check them, you check them. And I love what Fanny say. Match energy. You match the energy. The same energy they come with, you bring it right back to them. So they know, and you know that hey, we ain't playing. So I love it. I love it. Anything I can do to support you guys, just let me know. I'm here for y'all. I want to support all my black content creators, all my black scholars who bring scholarship to the conversation, bring receipts, stand on business. I'm here to support you in any way I can. Any way I can. So just know that.
I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I mean, my thing is just this: like these other people don't got no heroes. And once I realized that these other nations, they all look up to our Black American heroes, all of them. They make like they'll tell their story, and they always refer back to our heroes, right? So if you don't got no heroes of your homeland, please don't be out here.
Well,
Please
you know
don't be
who
out
the
here
family
talking
hero is now.
about please don't be out here talking about how your country needs to be better or how we don't have no culture when everything you do is based on our hero shit.
Well, you
Like
know who their
you
hero
can't
is
compete
now.
where you can't compare. Like
Right. You know what their hero is now. Everybody, all the heroes right now they're talking about is 𝗔𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀. That's their hero right now. And we're like,
I
shout
love
out to
it.
that brother. We're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
shout out
Shout
to
outs
that
to
brother.
them, please. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, I
Protect
sent
that
my
brother.
I
energy
need
to
them.
him. We
May he
love
rest
him.
in peace.
They thought
I
we was
need.
gonna say something.
This
We
what I
are
need them to
supporting
do.
him.
This what I need them to do. I need them all, but listen too much. When I ask them, cool. When are you putting on your boots and your helmet to go fly
Ah.
over there to help him, protect him? You know what they say? Nah, I ain't gonna. I support. But then that ain't really your hero if you ain't about to go stand next to him. Sits next to him. Nah, you wanna yell BS from the comfort of America, built by
Yeah,
Black
hey
Americans.
Simon. Hey
What's
Simon,
up,
you ready?
sister?
Hey
Yeah.
Simon, you ready? You ready? You ready for what I'm gonna say? Listen, you just said it. Now, if Black Americans, check this out. But if we decide to put an army together, our hood, the thugs and all of them get together, and we go over there, them Negroes will catch a flight. They'll catch a red eye to beat us over that end, because they know we coming. They gonna really try to outdo it. See,
There's
it's
gonna be,
all
oh
about
yeah,
where we going.
it's all about no, but Sister Fanny, when we realize, right, that don't nobody with melanated skin make a move unless we make a move first. That's how much currency, influence, and power that is. Because
Hmm.
what they've done for us is let us know that we're the nucleus. We're the nucleus. We're the heartbeat. We're the synapse of everything black. Yes, because we are the only black people. We're the only people with black history. They don't celebrate black history nowhere else but here. They celebrate it in Europe because the European got it from over here. They
But you know
celebrate it
what?
in
What got
Canada
them? You
because
know
they
what's
got it
got
from
them? What's
here.
got them blindsided? And I kept wondering what was this power surge that they felt that they needed to outdo us these last few years. I kept wondering what is it? What is it? But what it is we next up. We
Not
got
that we mess
next,
up, we are up.
baby.
Anytime we get up, look, when the 𝗤𝗂𝗃𝗃 Airmen got they honor, they went to Nigeria, Ghana, Haiti, Ethiopia, and they taught these new nations how to fly planes. No European did it. Black Americans did it.
Hmm.
Now, see, you got to
It's
What's
remember,
up.
that?
it was never their intention to properly educate the continent, to bring the continent itself into the modern or industrial age. Too many of the brothers on the continent are still not having the industrial revolution that we had 100 years
Even
ago.
in the Caribbean, we went to Jamaica, Trinidad, and Tobago, the Bahamas, Haiti. We taught them how to fly planes.
I wonder if that's in any of their history books, though. Is that in any of their history books?
South
No.
America, Central America,
Is it
Africa.
in any of their history books, FBA? No. It's
I
not,
mean,
because they're not teaching their children the truth. Because one thing about us, the truth was out there. We fuel the economy of can you imagine fueling the economy of a whole world? The whole world, not just America. The cotton plantations fueled economic base and foundation for all of Europe, a lot of
Hmm.
Africa. I mean, if you go to the seven continents, even China, man, look, China had the Silk Road. That was it. What else? They were there, but all of them were still pre-industrialized until African black folks, the slavery, that money, it fueled. Man, look,
Did anybody ever
Even
heard
the
of
inventions around
Nate
cotton.
Salberry from Freeport, Illinois?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question,
I
brother. You
didn't
said
hear you.
anybody heard what?
Have anybody heard of Nate Salisbury from Freeport, Illinois?
Is he the one
No,
who
but I'm
created the
near
buffalo
Freeport.
wing?
His name was Nate Salisbury.
Nah.
He supposed to be the one that has the patent for Black American history. He supposed to be the one
Oh.
who created it or made it up. He made up history, made up some history, never been around black folks, but he used to go out in the fields with Doc Holliday and have put some chairs up at farmlands and do shows around America and call it Black History, and people started believing it.
Never heard
and
of him.
so we have our own
Oh,
history.
but he
What
was
was
a
your,
white
what are you
man.
Yeah.
talking
I get what
about?
you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
saying
think that
these
is
people
from.
is real people that we talking about. You can look it up. Where you from?
Who, me?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Where you from?
Alani.
What?
Yeah. She's just
Are
asking where
you
you
in
from, bro.
Illinois?
Who, me?
Yeah, what's your
Yes.
ethnic background?
Oh, what my background? Sure, I'm from the city. I'm from Chicago. My family is like one of the biggest families in America. Lipcombs. My father has 37 kids. My uncle got 34. My grandfather got 36.
So what do you
It
think
goes
you
down the
found
line.
that story about a Freeport Black American man going around making
Um,
up history? What
because
history did he make
I
up?
was doing the word Black American history. When I was studying, when I was doing a study on where the word came from,
Come
because
on up, Jersey.
it was one of the months that was I was looking at where February, like they talk about Black History Month. So I was just trying to study and see
You
where
talking
did
about
Black.
Winston?
I know his name is
Winston?
Salisbury. The last name is Salisbury from Freeport. I
I
know
think
that.
you. So, bro, I'll tell you this. So wait.
I
Before
do
I,
have the
wait,
paperwork. I mean,
hold
I
on,
can
wait,
produce it.
bro. Before I give you the answer, do you know what it was called prior to it being called Black History Month?
I'm
Negro
what
Day.
I was talking about is the meaning of Black American history.
So what I'm responding to is one, you didn't give me any dates, right? Secondly, and I'm being respectful. Before it was called Black History Month or the term Black History came around, it was actually called something else. And I'm asking you, do you know what it was called?
Well, I was when was studying them, it was something about he created Black American history. That's what he got a patent for. That's
Right,
what
brother.
Okay,
What he's
that's
saying is
not,
if you know what
bro.
it's called before that. If
That's
you
not what
don't,
I'm.
just say
No,
you don't know.
no, because I don't know. I just know it was a show like pageantry. Like he was just going around the country doing this show that he was talking about. He was doing a play
All right,
in
cool.
these
Any? Do you have
on the
any
land.
dates? Do you have any dates when he was so called going around the country and putting these plays on?
I gotta look at it again, but I know I can get back to it when I look at my phone, because I know he was charging people $500 to be in the play. He was charging black folks $500
And this was a white
to.
man or a black man?
What
It
year
was a
was
white
this?
man.
All right. So prior to
Hey,
it even
Mars,
being
take over
called
the
Black
live
History,
real quick.
so
Take
prior
over the
to it
live real quick,
even
Mars.
being called Black History Month, it was called
Just world history.
Negro. It was called Negro History Month. Did you know that? It's called Negro History Month.
Negro
Well, no,
Day.
it's Negro
Negro
History
Week.
Week. Yeah,
It was a
Negro
day,
History
and then
Week.
it turned into a week, and then it
It
turned
started
into a
from
month.
it started from a day, and then it was Negro History Week. Okay, so whoever,
Okay.
so whatever, research you did, that's where it skewed at right then and there, because it was called Negro History Day. It grew to Negro History Week, and then later on it became Black History Month. Carter G. Woodson, you should research Carter G. Woodson when you're looking for anything about how Black History Month became Black History Month. Okay?
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah, his
it just came up as he has the ownership rights of Black history. His name was at the top. That's what made me look
But
him up and find
that
out he
happens
Is
was.
to
that
Black
a patent
history
on a
respectfully.
play or a show
No,
name or
No,
um,
respectfully.
what
Anything.
what
It's just like when people start finding out about Juneteenth. It was white people who went to go get it patterned. Y'all remember, right? We've been celebrating Juneteenth forever. And Juneteenth is new to a lot of people. They never heard of it because it was mainly Texas. And so Now that it came out, you had so many Europeans trying to own the word Juneteenth. It happens.
Oh
Baby
my
just
God.
said, and one of the things he biggest regret is not getting the ownership of the word bling bling. It happens. This is what they do, and this is why we're wising up to what they've been doing.
Yeah, brother.
Forgive me,
What does
family.
it
She's
mean
right.
that
Let me
use
add
those
this in
words
here
that
right quick.
can charge you a
Let me
fee
add
or?
this in here right quick. Because we have 88, almost 90 people in here, I want to say this again. Do not forget to plug in to the new black media, being Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority. The Black Authority has a weekend show on YouTube at 8 o'clock every night, every Saturday and Sunday. Professor Black Truth does a 8 a.m. podcast Monday through Friday on YouTube. You need to check these brothers out. You want to know where the grassroots is? This is where you get your grassroots information. This is how you get your grassroots strength. This is where you get your fighting words and your talking points. I'll stop it right there, fam.
That's right. That's right. And tap the screen. Tap the screen. Share the live. But yeah. I don't want to say your name wrong. How you say your name? Elena. Elena. Elena?
No, no, all in all.
Oh, all in all. That's it. Word, all in all. All
Okay.
right. All right. So yeah. So take your name like you just said. All in all. Right.
Yeah.
If you was to brand that, put that on like a alcohol, or if you just started saying it as a rap, like if you was rapping, right? If you was an artist, and if you didn't trademark the name all in all, then your whatever producer or some white person, just random citizen, could literally take the term all in all when it starts getting popular, trademark it, and then they would say they own the ownership of it, right? But really, it was just you just being your natural self. So when you're doing research, it's a lot of things that go in to to when people start having like ownership rights. You know, I'm saying that in air quotes. Um, over when things are innovative and when things are created. So, but you could look up Carter G. Woodson, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. He's the father of Black History Month. Um, he grew up from Negro History Day to Negro History Week, and this is the particular reason why Black History Month is only foundational Black History Month, because it was created by a foundational Black American from the time when we were Negroes. So yeah, so
Oh,
it
so
was.
so
So if I could just jump
so
in and take
so when the sister had asked the brother on here, um, um, in Europe, when they was looking at the history of Negroes in America, they had to study Black American history. I don't know if that was correct what the brother said, but I know that that right there has a patent. Somebody owned that, and they were saying that this white individual from Freeport is the one who made up that history,
He didn't
so
make
Well,
it
they
and
up.
it's,
let
it's
me
well
add
he
documented.
let me
it
add
was just
let me add
yeah,
just
it
a
was
little
just
bit.
untrue. They just
If
gave
I
you
could
false
jump in,
information.
if I could add just a
Miss
little bit,
NJ,
because I
please
think
jump in.
everyone is saying things that are absolutely correct as far as
Speak up,
scientific.
sweetie. We can't hear you properly.
Yeah,
Okay.
your mic is a little low, Miss
Too much.
NJ.
Can you go on mute? We can hear your background. I think that's
All in all, there
uh,
you go.
Is
okay.
that better?
Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Now we can
Perfect.
hear you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. So first and foremost, as always, peace and blessings to all. Simon, you was spot on in reference to the Black history, the founder being Carter G. Woodson, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. And one of the things that you were, and I want to say thank you for, at sharing when you're doing research, you have to remember when you're talking about history, that is a body of knowledge. That's work. That's data. No one has a patent on Black history. We don't want to sound unknowledged, because when we talk about, they may have a patent on the title Black history. That the moniker may be titled Black history. That may be something that they have a patent on. So therefore, you can't use those words in succession or together, so that they have a specific meaning. But we don't want to
put information out that we really don't know total everything about. The Black History title, that again may belong to someone else, and it may be the ownership that goes along with it. But we're talking about a collection of data. There is no one that owns all of the data at this point, because that doesn't make logical sense, period.
Yeah, absolutely, sis. I think we at a point where in our renaissance, in this historical renaissance, or in this education renaissance we're in, a lot of our people are just learning, and they and they're trying to find, the right type, the right space to see or to test the information that they bought, just bringing to the table. Um, so we have to be the first to give our people a little bit of grace, but also give them
Absolutely.
that correct, that correct
That correction.
rebuttal. Yeah, that correction, because we do want our people to represent our lineage, our heritage, the correct way. So yeah, no, you're right, sister.
Absolutely. And cousin and I were in a live on yesterday, and the reason that I wanted to make sure that I brought that up again, because if you could go on mute for just 1 second, all in all, we were in a live on yesterday. That something that just really, when I tell you, it took me to the next level of just disdain. But they just they said that foundational Black Americans were uneducated and unknowledged. And one of the things that we really want to make sure that we do is, wherever that information is coming from, we have to understand this is what's being presented, or how we're being labeled, not to go to the peasantry to respond to them, but to know, oh, okay, that's what you think. That's, like a butthole, everybody has one. That's your opinion. However, just like you said, Simon, we need to make sure that when we're coming in with, giving all of us the opportunity to learn as a body. And that's why it's always very important that we always state, certain things, that what we stand for. And it was just, again, I was floored. When I tell you I was floored and almost flabbergasted because of the things that they said about foundational Black Americans.
Hey, Miss NJ, the whole education thing. I think our education is shocking the world, right?
Yes.
On all fronts, on
Yes.
every front, every space I go to. What I can say, if they saying something negative about us, well, the brothers and sisters that have the information is going right up on that panel, and they're having the conversation. And by the
And I'm not
time,
saying it nicely, and you know it. And I'm not going to be police on how I handle their disrespect and they lack of knowledge. They have no right to
They don't.
That's
try.
why we love you, baby. That's
yeah,
why we
Exactly.
yeah.
love
No
Exactly.
you. Are
right.
But we
literally
turn
a
rookie off.
Tommy Pew Pew when you come to delivering that information
Facts
to them.
on top of
Because they
facts.
can't
All
take
we
away
do is
from my
go on
knowledge
mute
or
and
my
let Dorothy do
education.
her thing.
They can, it's so, and that's why I was telling the gentleman, I'm sorry, Simon, but that's why I was just
No,
telling
you
the
good, sis.
gentleman, when you come up and you cosplay as us and you try to tell us about our own history, and you have several of us joining the panel and telling you don't have it right, and I'm trying my best to respect you, because I don't know if you're an elder or you're other, but the things you're saying letting us know you're other, or you're just off a code, you know? And it's like, what they want to tell our history, meaning they want to erase us. It's very
Hmm.
offensive, and they don't feel like we should get offended. They say the
Hey,
same
hey,
things
hey,
that the
sweetie. You
Europeans
know what I
say.
noticed? Even when these immigrants and these tethers try to tell their immigration story, I remember when I was younger, the immigrant story was, I come from such and such, and my parents came with 2 pennies. Right? That was their story. Now these first and second generations, they're saying that their parents came and fought in the 1960s for civil rights. No, you didn't. Your
No, you
parents
didn't.
what?
That's
That's
No, you
that's what
didn't.
the and that's because
And they
they
forget
are.
we actually have the names of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
It's
get in
some.
here? Robert Hardy want to get in.
Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
just
Rob.
guessing.
Has anybody ever heard of John Henry Clark? the great
Oh yes. Oh
historian.
yes.
If
No
anybody want to
question,
know,
no doubt.
if anybody want to know anything about Black history, just look him up, and he will inform you of all the history, black and
Don't
white.
forget Dr. Ben, brother. Do not forget Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen either.
That's right. That's right.
Them,
But
them two
John Henry,
scholars right there,
yeah,
those are the master teachers.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Now another thing, I was on CNN this morning, and I saw what happened up in Washington D.C. about those two people got unalived, and the guy got up there and he was talking about, well, we need to do more about all this hate for the Jews and the Muslims. I didn't hear him say
Small
nothing
hats.
about. I hear him say nothing about hate for BLK black folks for hundreds of years. You know, they always, when something happened to them, they always jump in there and say, well, all the hate could come toward the Jews and the Muslims, but we've been having hate for 400 years.
And that's really where to your point, sir, that's exactly where, if you really want to get rid of hate, if you really want to control that, you've got to control why is it geared toward or pointed in our direction, right? Is it because of the fact that, is it something personal? Of course it is. So stop using, we want to continue everything that we have here because we want to keep the black people suppressed, and we want to make sure that we continue to separate. Oh, we need respect here for this rate, this group of people, and this group of people, and this group of people, where all of that is just completely, it's disrespectful as a whole from the very beginning.
Right, right.
If respect or hate has to be completely eliminated, you've got to start with where it starts from and the root. Your root starts with you hate black people. And the question, it's rhetorical, but the question is why?
Because, panel.
You know what?
Wait, because I'm gonna tell you simply, we all know what it all boils down to. It's profitable.
They've been
Black
profiting
hate
off
is
of
profitable.
our pain and suffering
That's right.
since the inception of this nation. Now, other groups, as even Ann Coulter has said, other groups may have gotten a little mistreatment here and there. But the whole purpose of the Civil Rights Act was for black people. It was not for the women's movement. It was not for Team Alphabet. It wasn't for small. It was because of how this nation had abused our lineage specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wants to specifically address it because
Mm-hmm.
they feel like, oh, well, if we make it a pool of people, like, no, again, if you fix the foundation, you can then build upon it. Right now, the foundation will always be broken until you fix what needs to be done, which is in our heritage. And when we talk about our heritage, there's a number of things that goes along with it, because the truth be told, when we were just discussing the difference between, Black History Month and Negro, guess what? We even take that back, even with the naming conventions. It went from Negro to mulatto. Like, what? And even because if you go back again, this is why it's always important to know who you are. And you start seeing on these censuses where they have mulatto, that already lets you know that you're part something. But the question is what? Do not let it always be as a default that you are a part of, that you're part European, because understand there was a nation of people that were here prior to the arrival of them. Now,
Thousands of years before.
exactly. And our people were here. And that's why it's important to know. People will say, oh, well, we don't have any. No. I'm trying to tell you, you need to do the research. And when you hit mulatto, you need to keep going down the path of that male that's attached in that family, and it will hit. If it's not the male, it's going to be the female. I promise you, a lot more of us, especially in this live and in this group, have more Native American in you than you know. But what they did is they decided to erase that.
Anybody ever went on one of them MAGA live pods?
I have.
No, I got to tell you,
Listen,
brother.
hold on, hold on,
I
hold on,
kind
hold
of
on.
take the little sassy thing. I will talk about them, but I will not talk to them.
Well,
It's hard.
I went on there and I asked a question about what's going on in Africa, West Africa. Do you know that none of them have any idea what's going on with
Was
Abraham?
that shocking to you, though, brother? Was that shocking
No,
to you at all?
no, no, no. See, I was making a point. See, they stuck on what they want to hear. The MAGA, all they want to hear is all this
But
negative
brother,
stuff.
they've been doing that since the Tea Party. They
Right.
brought them in, they got
Hmm.
them little 12 cats, and then they got together and they expanded that to a little bit more, but they only stay in their own echo chambers.
That's right.
And because their echo chambers are financially stable and can thrive, they get a louder voice to say what they are. But that is the only thing that they're doing. They're only speaking into their own echo chambers. This is why I can't speak to them, because they're not interested in any new information. They
None
only
of it.
want to go back. Let me say it to you like this briefly. At the time when Obama first got into office, not that this is an Obama thing, I was in South Carolina. They had a Tea Party rally down at the thing. And I was like, let me go in and just peruse and see what's going on where I was close to. And I had to ask this guy, what do you think the Constitution is written in stone, or is it a living and breathing document? And he told me flat out, oh, it's written in stone.
God.
And that's how they think. It's written in stone. The United States Constitution was never meant to be written in stone. It just wasn't. Otherwise, there would never be an amendment to it.
Right. And if it
And they
was, why can't
refuse
they
to acknowledge
follow it?
that aspect of it because they only want to stay in their comfortable little bubble. And if you mess my bubble, you pop my bubble, then I'm going to be upset because you brought in some truth, some real knowledge.
Yeah,
And
and they're
I
scared of
can't
that.
stand that.
They're
And
scared of that. They're
that's
scared of the real stuff.
that's extreme. That's why it's extremely important to have the types of the community that we have,
Right,
because in order for us to stay knowledge,
right.
I don't know how many of you, were close to your grandparents or your great grandparents, but that's where our histories normally originally came from. A lot of that is being cut off and it's being removed. So the goal is to, let all of that be a part of the past. We want to teach you what you're supposed to think. We want to teach you what you're supposed to know. We want to teach you what you're supposed to, how you're supposed to act. And that's not a truth.
And you
Somebody
can't go
mentioned
on
Tuskegee Airmen.
Can I
forward
say
without
this?
truth.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let y'all talk. Did y'all know that it was a black woman that taught the Tuskegee Airmen how to fly airplanes? Did y'all know that?
No, I didn't know that.
A black woman
Yes.
taught Tuskegee Airmen how to fly airplanes, and I rest my case on that.
She was one of the first barnstormers to ever fly in the early days of flight. I can't remember her
Oh,
name, but yes, she was a pioneering black woman.
That's right. Not in the
Imagine how
history book.
brave that woman had to be in all fronts.
Yes.
There
y'all
wasn't no
do
landing
realize
fields. You got to remember that part. Okay.
But
Yeah.
also think about how much what she accomplished, and if she accomplished that, then the question becomes: we should use how are we not using those types of things as motivation for us to kind of
I
go?
tried to tell them. But look, this is the thing that I want us to realize. When it came down to reparation and being anti-black, Ronald Reagan, who gave reparation to the Japan Americans in 1988, started off as a Democrat and became a Republican, right? We have to learn these parties for who they are. Both parties, Democrat and Republicans, agreed for the reparation for the small hats. So when it comes to our community, they have yet to apologize or pay any of our people reparation from the Freeman Bureau. They all have anti-black. We need to start going hard at these politicians who looking to be voted in and starting to put out their ads right now because the vote is coming up in 2026 about our needs, our wants, and letting them know we're coming against them. You can start right here on TikTok, let them know, like, hey, reparation. They read their
Well,
comments.
I would say it like this, Wolfie. The idea that the United States government is a bird and the left wing and the right wing do not fight each other to keep this bird aloft. They go make sure and work together to so that this entire system continues to fly. But this entire system is built on white supremacy and black domination of the white supremacists.
And there's a couple of different things that, unfortunately, that we really have to your point, cousin, that we really have to embrace is taking, again, a very long look at where we are and what are we willing to do to get that agenda. Because to Wolfie's point, like I stated this one yesterday, the agenda is the agenda. Okay, they don't care who pushes it. It doesn't matter which party pushes it. But there is an agenda. There is an agenda. These things don't pop up and get massive support overnight. This is just the way that things have shifted drastically in the first 6 months should let you know this didn't happen overnight. I don't care how powerful you are. That just think about it. This was in play before. Therefore, someone other than the current administration was moving certain components that go along with it. Now, as ex-military, I said what I said and I stand on it.
And don't forget the Heritage Foundation, the Federalist Society. How influential do you think those black bodies do you think they had black bodies in there attempting to move anything? Or did they do it just like they did the Constitution when it was written? The Constitution, when it was written, was behind locked doors with armed guards, and only certain people could get in. It's the same thing that those forces have done today. They have their private sectors and sections where they'll go have their meeting, put their plans in effect, and then go and take care of the politician to get them on their sides.
And that's why
Y'all look at Obama.
It's true, but
like
there
he's
are
a
Clarence Thomas at every level.
Oh, you got deeper with that, Clarence Thomas. I was finna go with Obama. Y'all look
No,
at
you know
Clarence
him
Thomas
too.
is really where it
He
is.
gave
y'all
into
look
the
at him
Heritage
as a black
Foundation.
man, and y'all forget that he was a president. Y'all forget the president of the United States. Their job is always to conquer other places to keep the America the most powerful.
Teach.
So when I constantly say, Obama made Elon Musk the richest man in the world, it was already a game plan. Already said that Obama had to follow when he entered that office on how to conquer South Africa.
Teach the masses. That's exactly right. And even to make it even more, just to show how much they've been playing in our face,
Playing in our face.
completely playing in our face since 9/11. Let's start there.
Duh.
Okay, 9/11. Oh, everything happened. Everything offshored to keep things going. Isn't it mysterious how none of that was brought back? That's all I have to say. That's why I said we need to not be emotionally attached to the way that they move, the way that certain things are the results of the activities, because just like 𝗖𝗄𝐶 said in the comments, this has been a long plan. And again, it doesn't care who moves that plan. There are things that have to be accomplished. And just like Wolfie said, when Obama took office, in order for him to take that office, he had to adhere to certain things that he was required to do. And there were certain things that he just could not do. And there were certain things that 10 times out of 10 he could not relate to.
You know, Obama went over to West Africa and met Traore.
He
He did
did?
what?
He went over to West Africa and
And
met
met Traore. Yeah.
Traore.
I should
Burkina
tell
Faso.
y'all all who
Yeah,
support Tory,
yeah.
if y'all support Obama, what side you really on? And
You
I'm gonna
know,
just land it right there with the. Do y'all hear my mic drop?
Every bit of it. But think about it. And this is why I always say when we talk about that term African American, and I have a respect for leadership. Let me just start by saying this because I don't want it to come across as hate. When we talk about African American, an African American is Obama. He was an African American. You know why he's an African American? His father was African.
He's the grace. If y'all seen the movie Sinners, let me go over and he still have the agenda of the president of the United States. He's still being protected by the Secret Services and still
So
getting your leave
is the
and your
sister
salary.
saying it like Irish American? How she said African American, like British American, like that? That's how I should look at it.
That's what we need to start looking at it because you know what? At the end of the day, Black American, if you look at truly when we talk about foundational and Black Americans, our foundation includes Indigenous and those that are those of us, whether we're in from the Freedmen Bureau or whether we're from the recognized tribes, we're all a part of that foundation that goes along with it. And if you think about it,
That's the ethnogenesis that
that's
has occurred
exactly
over
right.
the time.
That's exactly right. Because if you think about it, that's where we've been bamboozled.
Yeah.
And
Because
we are the second largest ethnic group. And this is what people don't fail to realize. Black Americans haven't went nowhere, or the indigenous or the foundation haven't went anywhere. We've been here. We
that's
are
right.
the second largest ethnic group in the USA.
And
They
that
can put the Irish with them, but the Irish just came over in the 20th century. The Italians, majority of the Asians, the Africans, the Caribbeans, they all came over in the 20th century. And
and
they
and look
numbers
where
don't outnumber us.
they
and
originated from. Black, Japan, black, Germany, black, Russia, black. A black man invented the Russian language. China, black. It started black. All of it was all black. All of
See,
it.
the idea, brother, we on the same page. We really are. The idea is
Hmm.
really planetary wise, we outnumber them greatly.
tremendous.
But what they've done is use their military might and their financial institutions and all of the technologies that they've been able to financially abuse us with. They've abused us with. And the other thing that they've attacked us with is all of the ologies. We know that they have psychologically studied us. They have
Yeah.
socially studied us. They've done all of these things. They know how to do these things. And they've been doing these things. And they have been the guiding principles of the Heritage Foundation. They have been some of the guiding principles of the Federalist Society.
And that's the truth. That is an
Can I
absolute.
ask? Can I ask a
All of
question?
their own documents prove it.
Out of the what they called it, the guy that made some type of history called Darwin history or something like that.
Darwinism? Yeah.
Yeah, Darwinism. Um, from what he's saying and stuff like that, is that considered the only way that YT people can be indigenous from somewhere? Where they try and say where they indigenous from? Like, is they indigenous anywhere on the planet
I've
Earth?
never heard anyone say that they were indigenous in the YT community. They've never said that they were indigenous to any land. What we have always espoused, because they've called themselves Caucasians, is that they were from the Caucasoid Mountains.
That's right.
Right.
Again, where is he
And
coming
that
from?
was only just a belief about skulls. This guy that collected skulls from everywhere and decided which ones he thought were beautiful skulls. But that's not even like where me, the base YT guy in America, has any heritage. I'm like mixed European and mixed in like Virginia and Kentucky. You know?
Right.
I mean, you have to remember,
Yeah.
early America was real strong on wasps. Y'all know what a wasp is, right?
Mm-hmm.
White
Yep.
Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's who they were trying to fill this nation with.
That's exactly right.
Okay? They've never stopped that.
I was going to
The
say that
idea
hasn't stopped.
that okay, the immigration process may have gotten out of pocket,
Mm-hmm.
but if they rearrange it again, there won't be another mass immigration of people of color, particularly if they don't have any money.
Look at the South Africans. They're starting with them, trying to get them over here.
Oh, they are moving them over.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That as they say, try. No, that's already happened.
Yeah, I
Some
know.
I
of them
just want to
own
know what
granite
community
mines. They're
are they
not
putting them in.
farmers.
I want to know
already
what
In
know
community they're putting
Alabama.
them in because
Why? I wouldn't even worry about it.
no, because
They be
my
doing
point
that
is
because
strictly
they wrong
this.
over the Irish and so many other hungry white passing people. They've been doing that. These people we're not have to worry about it because if all they leaders was unaligned by their own people too.
No, Whoopi, you
We
missing.
ain't
Mm-hmm.
never
My point
unaligned
was
their
this.
leaders.
My only point was when they come over here, they're going to, from what my understanding is, from what I've looked into, when white South Africans go to other white countries, the other white country they went to don't even like the white South Africans' racism that they bring with them. They have issues with them. So they're going to stand out like an extremely fat, misshapen, sore thumb. You're not going to be able to miss them because their vitriol and their venom just it reeks from them. That's why I was saying, where are they going? Because wherever they're going to espouse those views, and they're going to get
They
dealt
not
with
going. They're not going
accordingly.
to put them in the hood. I'm gonna tell you that.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
gonna
They're
I'm
gonna
gonna
put them
say
in
They're
the.
this.
not coming to the hood near you. They
Let me
going
say
to
this.
No.
the.
Let
They
me put
not. They
They're
a
gonna
going
thought
go
to
to
out
the
Yeah,
there.
out
Let,
most
west,
let me put
white
a
get
thought
west,
out there
whitewashed,
that to
affluent
align with
neighborhoods
what
to
you.
spread their.
Idaho,
They're being
Nebraska.
given farms in
Well, yep,
Alabama.
they
Let me
definitely
say
been coming
this.
here in Minnesota.
Well, they
I,
can't
I think
get.
that if
They
you
don't
look
know.
at
They don't
wherever
even
you
know how
have
to
East,
maintain the land. They
wherever
don't
you
And
know
they're
how
have
to
Farmers.
investor
That's
how to
right.
Wait a
types.
minute, we
They're
grow
got
not
too
even
much
Farmers.
too much
hands on
over talking,
employees
cats
of
and
any
kittens. We
kind.
got too much over talking. Let's
let me
keep
just
it
say
proper.
one thing real quick because I got to get down.
Sorry.
So the most common guests that I know of that are on the panel. I'm gonna create a message group so we can all get on Discord with Too Much. So if you want to get on there and you're a regular panelist, can you please inbox me? And everybody continue to have a blessed day. And I bid you greetings.
Thank you,
blessings.
Precious. You have a good day now.
You too.
So you know what? I will say this. I believe that if we, because of the most recent influx of East Asians, what whether and I say you can call them East Asians one day, you can call them East Indians one day, you can call them you pick a day that you want to call them, but the people that have made the Western side their home, I do believe, to your point earlier, cousins, whoever they partner with, that's where your largest body. Because the thing is, if you think about and if you do an assessment, and only reason I know this for an absolute fact, because and as also being an executive in technology, I've watched the way that technology has been overwhelmed and overpowered with them. And it's not because of the fact that they are smarter than anyone, they are slicker and they do band together. And I'm talking about the East Indians. They do work together very well. They don't have if we go to TikTok and we're honest about it and we scroll, have you ever seen a panel with them on like we're talking about now? Nope. Because they're having what they're doing is they're assessing and they're watching everything. They're
They're
watching
moving
everything.
in silence.
That's exactly right.
The
And that's why
Arabs too, right?
That's exactly right. Because they're all, you know what they look at it.
That's
They're
why
all.
I said that. I love
That's
when you say stuff that. Thank you for proving that point. They
yeah.
don't join our panels. They don't host panels because they in the back
That's
watching.
exactly. They
They
studying. That's
come.
exactly why I said yesterday that we
Yeah.
have to stop talking so much. You know, what we have to do. We have to talk about things. You know, hey, you know, from an educational perspective, the things that align with what needs to be said. But we're on someone else's panel, and then, you know,
Mm.
let's just if we just and we say someone else, not just too much, but we're on someone else's platform. And if we really want to be honest
Definitely
about that,
watching.
that is exactly what they've done. If we scroll through TikTok, and the next time we have this conversation, I want someone to tell me where you've seen a panel on a regular basis of Indians talking about anything.
Never.
I said the same thing.
So then
Only
that
Well,
when
see,
means
it's
that they're
they've
doing
been
what they're plotting
swallowing.
their
time against
takeover.
Black
They are.
Americans.
And let me
Keep
say
that in
this.
mind. Miss NJ, when they were when they call them the watermelon people, right?
Okay.
When they hosting those panels trying to say where Black Americans is not doing it, we shouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. That's the only time you heard them speak. When it's
And you
about
know
them.
that's exactly right. And the interesting part is, and that's why, if you guys remember my introduction to this panel, the first thing that I screamed with at the top of my lungs, I kept telling you, she's not one of us.
They
Very
didn't want.
true.
You know
She's
they
not.
didn't want. You know they didn't want to hear that, Mama Love. You know they didn't want to hear
But
that.
you know what? And as they say, and that's why I said, and I like to do things. I don't look at things just at the surface level. I like to go deep. I said, okay, let's do this. She's a graduate of Howard University. I'm also an HBCU graduate. This is how we're going to know who she is. Go back to her administration records and tell me what she came in as. And I guarantee you, you're going to look at something completely different. You can't become conveniently black. You either are in or you're out.
When you talk about Kamala Harris, you're talking about a different kind of bird altogether. This
No,
here is
not
like
really.
what is it? Whatever bird that is that got all them colors on it.
Peacock.
It's
Well,
And
like
see,
it
to
could
peacock.
be
be.
honest with you,
It
I
could
would
be a.
even have
A
respected her
pigeon.
more.
It could be.
Family, you know what? I would even
It's
stand.
more
I
like
would.
like a parakeet. Parakeet. That's what I was trying
A
to think of.
pigeon. A pigeon.
A
You talking about the
pigeon.
one with that print
What you
with
talking
the
about? It's a
tail? Yeah, the chameleon.
a
Let me say
pigeon.
this. The thing for me, the only thing that really made me more that just boiled my blood was the fact, you know, stand on who you are. Okay. Say
But
that this
but
is
Miss
I am
Love,
this adjacent.
our own people supported this lady 10 toes down and went against the rest of the people that tried to bring some truth to the fact that this lady was not for us. But they shut down every voice of dissent
Yeah.
got shut down because she'd already told me everything I need to know when she said, but I'm not gonna be saying that I'm gonna do something
She sure
specific.
did. And
I'm
that
not gonna
video is still
Why
on
you
YouTube
sound
say
today.
like
really.
her? Why you
I,
That
sound like
video
her,
is
Miss
still on
That's what
YouTube
Annie?
Well,
today.
she's
nobody's
but
willing
good.
to do.
she said that thing is I'm talking about it is in my brain. I mean, I'm going to the grave when she said, well, I'm not going to sit here and talk. But you sit right there when you signed all those papers so that them immigrants could get all that money. And
Say
for
it.
that black lady to stand up there in Chicago and break down and cry at the ATM when the lady left her ATM ticket receipt at the ATM, the lady had $13,000 on a damn EBT card.
My
Come
God.
on, baby. But you did do it then, and then now they saying like Jasmine Crockett, I love her, but she said we're not in the business of giving out money. Oh yes, ma'am. That's why they
She,
breaking down them
she don't know
borders
where her people
to get
come
over
from.
here.
She trying to
I know.
claim Texas.
I love myself some
She
Jasmine
trying to
Crockett
claim
because let me
Texas. She
tell
might
you,
be a Nigerian. Jasmine
Jasmine
Crockett is
Crockett
trying to
knows
claim.
she is a brilliant person. I love her to life. I love her to life.
Right.
She not doing
She
nothing for
I
our
adore her.
community.
I
She's for
adore her.
everybody else.
I adore the way that she stands up. And I'll say this. Because that level of politics is on a different level,
right.
I have no idea who does what, why they do it, or why it aligns with it. But it goes back to what I said before. There is an agenda.
No,
and
there's an agenda.
with the
They're
agenda.
all part of this agenda, Mama Love. They are, but I don't mean to overtalk you, and please forgive me. I
That's
wanted to
okay.
say this about Kamala. When all of the black voices chimed out of California, and they were all saying no. I was looking for somebody to say yes. I didn't see nobody coming out of Cali giving this lady a clean bill of health for our community.
And
And
that's
then, huh?
I said, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, but nobody seemed to care. But if you look at now, I was looking at the Forbes list. You look at the list of who has the most money in America. It's the East Indians. They got the most money.
Boom. But do you know why?
They got
Watch this. It goes back to what we remember. I had this whole conversation about with us on this panel. We were talking about you need to there's certain things that you need to get involved with from a technology perspective. I'm gonna lay it out. I'm gonna lay it out very simple how they got to where they are. Okay. What they did is they had certain people that they aligned with to get in certain roles. Okay. Once those people get in those roles, because see, on the other side, they don't sleep at all. Okay. They have a their clock is different. Of course, they're on the other side of the world. Okay. So because and from a technology perspective, and I want you to hear me very carefully. Technology is the new field. When I say field, I'm not talking about field to go into. It's like fields where black people used to pick cotton. That's what technology is. As long as you keep us away from coming back to give knowledge to our people because we are too busy trying to stay afloat because I see the next East Indian and the next East Indian and the next East Indian and I need to keep them. That's a problem.
Well, let me tell you, they underbid. The deal is when STEM actually became a thing, because we always had IBM. Remember, IBM was the big one back then. And then HP picked up, and it was the big thing. And then IBM came back slightly, and then all of a sudden, when we had the personal computers in the 80s, when the Mac came out, and then we got Bill Gates on the other side with Windows. But before that, IBM was the big deal. Well, and all of the mainframe was in the DOS language, that whole thing. Now, the deal is that the evolution of technology was the one thing. But the second thing, and what gave these East Indians their leg up, is the fact that the labor force here was going to be costly. It was going to be costly. And they didn't want to pay. See, America is sprung on free and cheap labor.
Oh, absolutely.
Strong.
That's
They put the HB1 visa together
that's absolutely correct.
Recruit these people, and they put them and hid them in MIT. They hid them in all of the Ivy Leagues. These people didn't mix with us, but they start showing up in our stores. They start buying up our property. In our communities, now they run the hotel industry as well as a significant portion of manufacturing, not just technology. These people came in, and because they had the numbers,
they came with a plan.
They came in with a plan. No, but what happened to us in that evolution is that we got underbid. We got underbid because next to free, we didn't have a leg up. We had to be free to get recognition. We had to be free. They had a price, but it was lower than what we would have asked for. And this is how 40 years of that. And then they brought the Hispanics in to take over the construction industry. And you don't see nobody black on the ground or building. We lost all of our skill sets when we got pushed out of these work. And now we're picking up with the crafts again. Thank God. We're picking that up. But the deal is they are there, and they are there to underbid you. I had a company, and my contracts would always get underbid. They will take a loss to get the contract.
But
Go
that's
ahead.
exactly right. Let me add on to that, because let me take a step back. First of all, everything that you said was absolutely spot on. And to add on to it, why that door was opened, panelists, what did I say earlier? Do you remember 9/11? 9/11, there was a substantial hit on technology during 9/11. And I'm saying this because as a former employee of Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan Chase. I spent much time on Wall Street, and being in technology, that's a point in time where I'm telling you what I know, not something that I read. She's absolutely correct in reference to the hit that they would take. Because or if, let's say, I charged as a consultant, let's say my consultant rate was $125 an hour, they could get 5 people in India that would do the work that I'm doing, and all they needed to do, because it starts with the rupee, right? That conversion rate. So it's larger than we think. And when we start looking at where the actual blowout happened, the opportunity and the event that led to their open door moment was 9/11. Because once 9/11 showed up, and they showed up, they were ready and prepared. Everything has always been, oh, who is this? This person has 26 letters in their name. Okay, yes, ma'am. No. That's not how I run my shit. Because just because you have those, now I'm not going to stand on this panel and lie and act like there aren't some very good and very talented people that are out there. Absolutely. But you have to be very careful about how they get in. A long story short, this is where and why you see these $300,000 a year. Our community would probably have people would lay on the floor like, what? That job is $300,000 a year? I'm like, yeah, but did I not sit on this panel and less than a week ago and told you to get your behind over there and go to the project management stuff? But you don't listen. That's exactly why.
Absolutely.
They're coming in and they're not. And I've been in technology. My first computer was a Commodore 64. And I also had the Tandy. So we're talking about 1978. I'm dating myself. I'm okay with that, though. So I've watched the evolution of when it was just us. I've watched this, and I've watched it in each one of the industries.
Well, check this out. Look at it now, though. Did y'all notice? Is anybody watching? Listen, they have made a whole comeback because they see that Trump and them are ending these HB1 visas, and they're not going to be able to just come over here carte blanche. And so, what did the guy, their president, their prime minister, what is the move he just made a couple of days ago? China started acting up and saying that they were going to use manufacturing as a leverage point. What did they? Their prime minister stood up and said, "Don't worry, this man." He done cut the throats of BRICS and everybody else. He broke character. He broke the line, and he's now aligning himself with America.
Think about it. So then the question becomes:
so India is about to replace China as a manufacturing. I don't know. I was breathless. Go ahead.
But it's true. But guess what? The thing is, you know what? So now we have all of this information that we put out here, and all of this is inventory. We see exactly who's doing what, how they're doing it, and what. What has us in the position that we are in is that we are stuck. We're watching everyone else instead of
we don't have. They said that we don't have a nation, but I think
would say this.
I think
we've got to put our stuff together, and we've got to. You know what? We've got to move. We've got to. Really
we got to.
We've got to have our children. As we're doing, they're doing their children like this. Their boys are either going to grow up to be engineers, doctors, or lawyers.
That's exactly right.
There's no other option for their male.
That's exactly
right. It's the same thing that we have to do in our community. I understand we want our children to be free and make their choices and decisions. You can do that, or should I say your grandkids can do that. Let me tell you, have to go and get this degree.
That's exactly what was beat into my head.
Let me add to that real quick.
It was beat into my head.
Let me add to that real quick. Let me add to that real quick what Cousin was saying. Listen, this is what you got to do. You know, it's like, you guys know Filipinos. This is what Filipinos tell their children. You're going to get a nursing degree. Yeah, you can go into IT, you can go into engineering, but you're going to get this degree first. That's how we have to teach our children. Listen, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're going to have this to fall back on at all times. You're going to get this degree first. That's it. And then everything else you do, that's your business. But as if I'm your parent and I'm directing, and I'm telling you, you're under my roof. This is what you're studying for. This is what I'm paying for you to go to college for. You can do all that extra stuff on your own time and with your own effort, but you're gonna get this degree first.
And
That's
they
how we
and
got
they
it.
are 10 toes down with it too. They don't
They
play
sure
no
are.
game.
They don't play any games, and
They
that's
don't
exactly
play
what
no
you get
game.
read.
They're not
There's
putting no money nowhere else, and they cut them
science,
off
technology,
everywhere else.
engineering, and math. Those are
It.
the only
That's
places
it.
that they put their money. And the
That's it.
interesting part is, to everyone's point, we one of the things that I think that we used to do once upon a time, and we do when we're looking at our history, we really need to also remember that we come from a culture where it took a village. That was a part of something that was always a part of our culture. It took a village. There was always your parents, and then there were the extended family members that were there. We are so, I'll say, I don't want to say scary, but it's almost like we're so concerned that we're going to overstep our boundaries that we don't even use that as the foundation to say, let's modernize how we took a village to help raise children. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about. But, literally, we've got to put that as a part of our priorities. Case in point, there's so many single mothers that are out here. How many have positive role models that are, whether it's male or female, for their children? Do they all have that? We know that that's, if we're looking at the statistics in our community, those are some of the things that we need. Yes, we do need to make sure that we are instilling in our children that you are going to college. Okay, you are going to college. But guess what? We also need to make sure, while we're saying that, we also need to make sure that our colleges are still going to be available.
Yeah,
Because
because
that's
the
one of the things
HBCUs,
Well, hold
HBCUs
on.
are significantly
endangered. That's
Hold
exactly
on.
right. That's
Hold on. Let me
our
tell y'all.
HBC. The foundation of our HBCUs are in danger, and that's why one of the things that when I created what I classified as the HBCU Alumni Nation, it's because A&T has been the hottest. Everybody, oh, I'm an
Let me
ID, I
tell
know
you.
this, and da 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 da. And you know what?
Does anybody else got something to say besides those two people?
Hold on,
Can
Rick.
I
Hold on,
finish?
Robert.
Can I finish
Hold
my
on,
thought,
Robert.
please?
Hold
Robert,
on,
that's a
Robert.
bit out of pocket.
Hold on,
I
brother.
Wait
wanna
a minute,
know
the
what's the
host.
difference
Hold on, real
between
quick. Hold
Let
on,
the
real quick.
host
gas
Hold
and
speak.
on.
filling
Let the
Hold
host
Hold
on,
speak
real
on.
all in.
quick. Hold on, real quick. I just want to jump in. First of all, I want y'all to know, don't disrespect the mods. They have long suffering and patience, but you will get dropped. These are mods who are speaking, and nobody's to tell them anything. Okay, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Now, secondly, I want to add this in there. Listen, we have to take our schooling out of school. If I'm going to be honest with you, we have technology now. We can turn a Discord into a university at any time we want to. We can use other things to start teaching and getting the word out to our people. Miss NJ, you need to be teaching a class. You need to be helping our people understand technology and take them to the next level. Other people who have other skills and things in here, y'all need to be opening up your own university. We don't have to. We don't have to listen. Apprenticeship is the way to go. Apprenticeship and mentorship. That's how we're going to take our people into the next generation. It's not going to these colleges and getting this indoctrination because you got to jump through too many hoops. We got to specialize. We can start teaching our people exactly what they need to be taught in something like a Discord or any other platform that we set up. We can utilize our Discord that we have and start connecting with each other and say, hey, you want to learn about this? Go, either we make a section in the Discord or we just say, go to this Discord and charge like $2, $3, $5. Make it cheap for our people, but make it worth your while. So it's not like they're wasting your time and you're not wasting their people. If they want to learn, they have to pay for the information. They have to sacrifice something. There's no such thing as free. You got to give, you have to make them, they have to want the information. It's not that they need it. Everybody needs the information, but we only want to deal with the people who want it. The people who want it are going to make the sacrifice. We could start our own university that that's an extension to the college, to the HBCUs, because we still need to support them, but we also got to start getting our people the real game, the real information. That's kind of where we need to be kind of headed with this information. That's why I like the idea we got to take some stuff offline. That's why I don't mind teaching the blockchain, but offline, because we got to start these universities. We got to start getting our people equipped for the future because we are futuristic people. And that's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
I was going to say you're
I would.
absolutely. I agree with you 2,000%. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to step down. I agree with you 2,000%. One of the things that I would also like to say, I think that it's important that we don't discourage away from the college only because of the experience really helps form and shape. But we do still need to your point, create a space for the students to always have an option. One of the things that we need to make sure that we do is when we say an option, perfect example, if we have one of the, some students that decide they're going to go into engineering, the question becomes, what's their internship going to look like? Hey, they're going to engineering, they're going to Howard University, they're going to Spelman, they're going to A&T, they're going to Tuskegee. We need to make sure that we have the first exposure for them to actually have not just an internship, but ongoing opportunity, just like you said, the apprenticeship. That hey, if we have our own businesses, then guess what? We bring them into and we create what's necessary for them. But again, that's an offline conversation because technology is moving at the rate of blinking the eye. And not only is it just it's the technology itself, it's the data that is where the technology is rooted in, and also the way that we're going to manage it. And there are enough spaces, positions, and opportunities for every skill set, every level, and every person that really wants to get involved. But we have to be able to make sure that we understand once you get involved, get connected, and there's a plethora of information in front of your face when you learn or you use the chat GPTs and the information that's out there. It's going to blow your mind. And you say, oh, I didn't even think about it. Something that would have taken you 2 weeks, you could get done in a matter of moments. But you have to have a clear understanding of how to ask what you need to actually to actually produce. But that's an entirely different conversation. So again, thank you for my opportunity to chat and to dial 1-800-WHAN about getting into the technology space.
I wanted to ask the sister something. I wanted to ask her a question.
Go ahead.
I'm here.
What is the difference between racism and the caste system that's from East India?
There is no difference. And the simple fact of the matter is, although they may espouse 𝗔𝗯ance Gandhi to be this great moral leader, 𝗔𝗯ance Gandhi was an extreme racist. Okay? He did the caste system, they still believe in that to a degree. And this is why you get
that system is never going to
Ramaswamy.
go away.
Right. This is why you get Ramaswamy
Right.
go over to a white conservative constituency and talk about what's going on in the black community, but he will never bring his hind parts to the black community and have a conversation.
Facts.
Oh no, never.
And they used him. They used him to get the votes for that particular community. If you notice, Ramaswamy was there for how long? And you've heard nothing from him since.
No, because
He was just their designated person of color.
That's exactly right. He held a role to get those votes. That's what he held.
What Ramaswamy did for himself and shot himself in the foot, it was going to be either or. It was either going to be him or Elon. The thing that gave Elon the victory is Ramaswamy went too hard during his short range at Doge. He went too hard on them white folks and started calling them out and started calling them, highlighting the fact that they weren't as smart as everybody thought they were, and that they were wasting, and it was never. And he went and basically specifically said that the Republican Party had been amiss to allow. You know how he used that strong language against them white folks. I know y'all didn't think they were going to let that fly, baby.
Of course, I knew.
Yeah, he was out at
they
that
were going to
point.
let him be.
What you say, Bootsy?
He was out at that point.
Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah.
He pointed out how mediocre those in elite positions were.
Come on.
And they said, oh, you cannot do that. We know we mediocre,
Okay.
but you can't go out here and publicly say that.
Ooh.
That,
I
and
knew he
that's
was
the whole
gone.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
Ramaswamy, he's guilty of a lot of people who try to join themselves to white supremacy and the
There it is.
system. They start believing
There
that
it
they're
is.
in, and they're like them. Oh, they see me as them. They're never going to see an Arab. They're never
Whole
going to see a
thing.
Say it
Hispanic.
again.
They're
Say
never
it
going to see an
again.
Indian as themselves. A token black. They're never going to. You're always going to be used for this. As long as you stay in your role, they're going to be nice and kind to you. But the moment you start criticizing the structure
Out of
and the
here.
power of white supremacy,
You're
you're
out
going
of
to
here.
find out real quick. And you're going to be
What
on your-
happens when white supremacy is done with its tools, people?
They break them.
Baby,
They
They
break them.
break their tools.
they break the tools.
They break them.
They dismantle the tools.
That tool is useless after they get done with them.
Hell yeah, because them
Am
shoes
I-
be
wait a
laid
minute.
over
What
to the
happens with
side.
my pillow guy? Where's the my pillow guy right now?
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Come on.
So all in one, does that answer your question? I know that you wanted to know the difference between racism and the caste system.
Caste
There's a lot
Yeah.
a lot of similarities.
Oh, see, the caste
Yes,
system,
ma'am.
the caste system is not racism because they all Indians. So it ain't really racism. They all Indians. The caste system is economic. It is a actual setup to where if you're born a serf, you will die a serf. If you were born a Brahmin, you will die a Brahmin. They don't veer or break away from that setup. That caste system has been aligned that way for thousands of years, thousands.
That's true. That's an absolute fact.
You know, their kings were determined based on that. I mean, they even had the practice of 𝗖cie. You know, 𝗖cie,
And
when the king
Kamala,
died,
was
they
Kamala
burned
Harris
it.
one of them?
A Brahmin. Her mama was a
Yes.
Brahmin. The top of
Yeah.
the top, yeah.
And then she met her mother
Her
married
family was
that
slave owners, by
Jamaican
the way.
man.
Did y'all know that?
And once
Her family was
she
slave
married
owners.
the Jamaican. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Come on.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying her family were slave owners. They go back to slave ownership.
Yeah, she Brahmin. They Brahmin. They got access to all. They are what would be considered the ruling class, like like the white folks here. But see, that it's not racism because they all Indians. But what it is it's something even worse than racism because you cannot ever break out of it. This is where you are. So their country is basically built on these particular principles. And when you look at the caste system, when they come over here, it's an adjustment for them because they want to look down on black people like they would their own. But they already know we coming with that work and they can't handle that smoke. So what they try to do is fall back and they find other ways to infiltrate you.
And then what they do is they try to build like this alliance, and they try to oh, this is my friend, or this is again, there are some
I mean,
of them
pay
that
attention to what her father did. Her father came here, an educated man,
That's right.
and got a job at an HBCU.
teach it.
His daughter went
Sure
teaching,
did.
thank you. His daughter went to the same HBCU where she should have learned that it was 40 acres and a mule. See, that's not hard. That was in high school. We got that in high school. But she got out on this political stage and decided to say 20 acres and a mule.
Wow.
But see, the
I
interesting
didn't even
part,
see that.
cousins, to even add that on to add to that point, these are the things and the reason I became so passionate about. We need to be very clear about what the foundation is in reference to who she is now. Again, when we look at the lesser of two evils, or where we look at we do an entire assessment of what we had available to us. There were people that decided to make one choice versus another. But one of the things that you need to be very clear in is some of the pieces that you may have thought that were going to get addressed, or agenda items that were going to get addressed with one party is absolutely not going to be addressed because of their foundation that goes along with it. Not because, oh, she said or he said, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? We already know what aligns with the current leader, and you know exactly what aligns with where she comes from. So that's what should motivate us and make us more aware to say we can't allow another 4 years to go by without having a way or a solution. We should never be dependent totally on the way that 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue moves. That there's just, if we really want to be honest, we really should never be totally dependent on that. We now see exactly what it is. We know exactly, because a lot of those programs being cut should have been the number one opportunity or writing on the wall that says, you know what? Yeah, we need to do something we should be in a different league. We need to be in a different, so in other words, move. And again, this information is available in front of us. We've just have to, we've got to learn how to work together. We have
Well, if they would stop, Mother, if they would leave the damn goalpost alone. Every
They
time
can't do that, baby.
we
They cannot
build,
do that. Every time they set that goalpost up for the for the poll vote, every time we exceed it. Every time they have
I
no
mean,
choice
they
but to move
keep
it.
it's like a moving target. Like they keep moving the goalpost. The slaves thought they had it, and then they put their trust in their children. Then we built a little bit, we got in some doors, and then those people, they went and they educated their children. We thought we got there. We thought we were there. We got to the civil rights, fought some stuff. Oh yeah, we are in these colleges. We were educating. Now we were educating back in the 1800s, okay, because there were free blacks that could read.
That's right.
And then we had a black intelligentsia. We had one that expanded in the 1920s, and then it became a religious more than it did actual civic movement. They kind of put them together, because like you have Noble Drew Ali, and then you have Elijah Muhammad, you have Marcus Garvey. Now these were all people coming from outside of America coming in, I guess, to help our community, right? But we had Carter G. Woodson, we had Booker T. Washington that were from here that end up on the opposition of these people. Well, if you bring all and drill it down to now, we have a black intelligentsia. We are now educating our children on our history. So what are they doing? Moving the damn goalpost. CRT. Oh, it's critical race theory. It's wrong for you to teach your kids the truth, because we don't want our kids to know the truth. Okay, so now what that stalemates is our ability to bid for high contracts in the future. They're not really dealing with us now. They're wanting to take and cripple our children so that they won't know what to do and how to do it. And they've completely separated us from the knowledge of alchemy and from the knowledge of science, from the knowledge that our people use to make these 55,000 such patents and trademarks that you see right now. God had to send the stuff through us, through our spirit, to teach us through the Holy Spirit to be able to work the stuff and come through with these inventions. He had to send it that way because they blocked every other damn way. So where are we now? They're moving the goalposts yet again using these buffer classes. And these East Indians are one of those.
And to your point, I love the way that you broke all of that down. And that's one of the main reasons that, you know what has happened? Them owning the goalpost first and foremost is a problem.
Truly.
You understand that? By them, let them move it up there behind as much as they want to. But what you do, what you eat doesn't make me poop. That's
what's happening now, is that we are now not even fooling with the damn goalpost. Keep the goalpost.
That's exactly where we should have been.
We don't even deal with or handle the goalpost. We straight up FBA. We don't care who else is who. We're not even trying to be friends. We're not asking you for your support no more. We're not even trying to move into your communities. We don't even care if you don't want us in your colleges. We are here. We are staying, and we are we can read now. Stop it.
Absolutely. And to your point, that's exactly where, going back, and I know this is going to sound oxymoronic, but please stay in the car because I promise you I'm going somewhere. One of the things that I even accept responsibility as myself personally, that a lot of us, to your point, there was a lot of foundation that was established. We had a history of things that were established long before any of the East Indians or any of them came over here. There's a book called Black Fortunes, right? If you read that particular book, it talks about, I think it's 6 African Americans or 6 black people who escaped slavery and became millionaires. So from that point, the question becomes, if we went from that, why are we still here? Because guess what happened? We allowed ourselves to be distracted. So there's a lot that goes along with it, because while the finances are a huge component, we've got to have each other's back. Right. So the when we say having each other's back, it includes, we need to make sure that we're keeping the main thing. We need to stay focused on the things that are necessary. We need to make sure that we have a true plan and what is it that we're trying to accomplish. Look, I'm not for the violence, but guess what? We need to be aligned with how to make sure that we're protected, because at the end of the day, going forward is going to be something that's going to make people uncomfortable. Does that
Well,
mean
yeah. Look at these rooms. These rooms scare people. These rooms scare people. These lives. These lives.
But I'm going to say this.
Let me say something real
To your
quick.
point, when you said something earlier, I meant to mention it. One of the things that if we were more connected as people, as Black people, do you know what? When you weren't able to get a contract for something, guess what? I should have been closer to you to say, "Hey, sis, you do know I'm a Black woman and I'm a veteran, and guess what? On top of that, they can't deny me because I do X, Y, and Z." We don't talk. We don't talk to
because
each other,
we're
and that's what
gatekeeping now.
and they came in,
It's
and
crazy
I'm gonna
work.
tell you,
Hold on real
the
quick,
Indians
guys.
took the time. They took the time to learn where the weaknesses were, and they infiltrated.
I got a
Yes.
question. Okay, this
Yes.
is a good question. I believe. Okay,
Mhm.
are we supporting the Greek societies inside these colleges that we send our children to, or are we telling them not to get involved?
Ooh, ooh.
I'm gonna
I
tell
want
you.
y'all to
Are you
understand it.
asking
I
me
want y'all to
Are you
understand.
asking me personally, or?
I'm asking the panel because I want y'all to understand. The boule is real, and
It is real.
this
I
is how they
never.
recruit our
Yeah.
children.
This
Yeah.
This is
is
how
how
they
they
recruit our children
differentiate.
and
But
keep
the
us
truth
out.
is, none of that is necessary to education
What?
or
Guess what?
information
It
intake.
isn't.
So I would
It
say
isn't.
keep it out.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're gonna fall trap to that. They're gonna fall trap to
But
that
that's the
because
whole
it's like.
thing. That's a good
It's
So
point.
how do
amazing.
we?
It's
So
amazing that
how
you
are we
said.
gonna navigate that? Go
It's
ahead.
amazing that you said that too much, because my granddaughter's going to college and they're getting ready to go to college, and that was a conversation that I did have with them. That those good grades and their high honors and being able to they're steppers, and I said, when you get
One
approached with
thing.
that, keep it moving. I said, because you
One
don't
thing.
need, see, what they did was they've used that Greek fraternal, they've used the actual brotherhood, sisterhood mentality to take the best of the best and pull them to their side. And
That's
they,
where the
Mhm.
separation came from. That's
yeah,
exactly.
and they take the best of the best, and then you can't go to be a part of them. They have to come and pick you. And so then when they do that, then they gatekeep. They set it up and they gatekeep it. And when they set it up, they gatekeep it. They teach them not to let you in. And then they have a snide way of using community to their benefit and say they're doing this and that for the
Yes.
community. But really, it's not. I mean,
Yes.
you
Let
gotta
me
be
say
careful.
this. To your
Gotta
point,
be
I think
careful.
one thing that you said that was an excellent question. Too much. I think that um, we may want to use that as an opportunity if you want to. I'm just thinking, throw it out there. What are the impacts of the Black Greek letter societies
Yeah,
on
that's gonna be my topic
our
tomorrow.
growth? I think
How
that's,
That's my topic
beneficial are the
tomorrow.
Greeks or
and I
Black
think
Greek
yeah,
societies to the
yeah.
Black community?
I'll say today, because once
That's gonna be
upon a
my
time,
topic
and the only
tomorrow.
reason I say that, as you know, I shared with you guys that my father is also a lifetime member of Omega Psi Phi, and understand that in his 70s, and he's still very much dedicated to the way that what I saw with them versus what I see in some of the things now. Again, there may be some huge difference. Did I receive a lot of pressure that went along with it? Yes, my mother, before she transitioned, was a member of Zeta Phi Beta. It was all around me. Again, all not only the Greek or Black letter organizations, but also the Masonry and the Eastern Stars that was all around me. But and those
Come
who
on.
visited my page and are attached to my community know that
Shout
I
out to
am
Sid. Thank you, Sid.
a diehard Christian, and my soul just never could connect with that because I always felt that you were developing a culture of elitism, and you're better than someone else, and I don't believe that's what God made me. Now,
Well, that
however,
was the reason for it, because
that,
you had to, and y'all excuse me, I had to take a call, but I'm back. That is it, the elitism. And that's what you mean by that. I hope too much is you're saying
yeah,
that there is a developmentally crippling of the actual experience, educating experience, and it's all about who you know. And remember, when we were younger, they used to say it ain't about what you know, it's who
it's
you
who
know.
you know. That's
You
true.
know,
And
This is
I
this is
categorize it
why I'm
almost
saying.
like this.
This is why
You
I'm
won't,
saying we got to
when you
take.
leave
We
to go to
got to
college, go ahead, bro.
go. No, okay. Let me finish, and then you can go right after me, cousin. Sorry about that. This is why I'm saying we got to take some of this information uh, outside of college and have our own university, have our own level of development and advancement for our people because we still listen. I love I want to I want to say we support all HBCUs and that's the only institutions we should support, but they're no longer ran by us.
mm-mm.
There is an
And they are, and they're
indoctrination,
and they're they're
and even all colleges they have these, like you say, these secret societies, these
yeah.
fraternities, these groups, and they're looking for the brightest, they're looking for the most potential out of us. And same thing they do in the music industry, same thing they do in Hollywood. They're looking for the most talented of us so they can control the majority of us. And they
Oh,
use these
yep.
people
Or
and put them in
pawns.
places and they groom them. They groom them.
Yeah.
P
but it,
Diddy was groomed to be
oh yeah,
where he's at
oh
and what
my
he's doing.
God.
You
Lord
understand
have
what I'm saying?
mercy.
They were
And
groomed
God
for
knows
this
that
stuff.
he was a genius in the reference to how the things that he contributed. But that, as I said, that's an
Right.
entire
But
that
see,
goes along with
we have to make sure
impact.
that we have to give that strong message of no drugs, no alcohol to our children, and really give it to them. Really give them the real and show. Listen, man. Listen, man. I say it all the
Traps.
time.
They're
If
traps.
you,
They're traps.
they're trapped, but think. Listen, if you're taking ecstasy and you do it for a long period of time, you become a degenerate.
Look
It's
at them.
just the
Just take
way
a look
it
at them.
is. The moment you start mixing and doing this stuff, and you use that particular drugs, that's what you're going to become, a PDF file and many things more after that. You're going to do all kinds of things that you never thought because they're psychological drugs. They're drugs that change the mental order and structure. They're meant to desensitize you to things that you shouldn't. They're meant to cut off that spiritual connection, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, you
And
know
we
what?
Absolutely.
don't want
When
that
you
spiritual
brought up
connection.
the Greek situation, I don't mean to overtalk you, but I gotta say it before I forget. Look, when you brought up the Greek situation, I know that situation. I'm not part of that, but I have family members that were. But before
I do
that,
too.
but before that, I didn't go to a HBCU. I went to a PWI. I was the president of our Black Student Union there. And what I discovered, and this was in the 80s though, but so this was in the height of everything coalescing into what we're experiencing the aftermath of right now. But
That's
back
right.
then, they were trying to put it together. We had the crack epidemic hitting the ground, but I was in college and we were fighting to divest in South Africa. That was a big deal back then. Well, in the process of that, I started seeing how these Greek fraternities interact with the Black students on
Okay, hold on, real
campuses.
quick. I gotta cut you off. They just flagged the account twice, and we didn't say anything.
We haven't
Maybe it was
said
me,
anything. What did we
or
say?
maybe it was because we are talking
The
about
D
Greek
word
society,
came out,
or maybe yeah, it's probably with me then. It
and the
probably was
C
me.
word came out. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they
So
just
we need
flagged
to
the account, but I got to end the live anyway, you guys. I got to end the live anyway, but they just flagged the account, but I got to end the live
And
anyway.
they just
And
don't want no education. I mean, they just
yeah,
But
can't handle it.
we just need to connect and make sure
Oh
that we take
man.
it offline. That's all,
We
everyone.
will
Let's just
catch this
yeah.
tomorrow
Yeah.
morning with an
Bye.
unflagged and
Tomorrow
a
morning we're
Bye
clean
talking.
panel.
guys.
Yeah, tomorrow morning
Thank
we're
you,
talking
everyone.
about the Greek organization and
blessings.
how that benefits Black America. So we're gonna have that topic tomorrow. We're gonna try to keep that as clean as we
All
can without
right.
getting the live taken out. So
Everybody be
everybody have a
safe, be strong. Don't forget the
yes
new Black
indeed.
media, Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority, 𝗤𝗔𝗿𝗄𝗏, Torian Rain, Afro Elite, Lisa Cabrera, Vicky Dillard, and Too Much Moxie.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Thank you so much.